All right, welcome everybody to our weekly sit-down with Orange Head Coach Fran Brown, brought to us as always by Chick-fil-A, Cicero, Clay, and DeWitt. And Coach, it's back to the Dome opener for the year, home this week and next. And what kind of adrenaline and juices get flowing when you think about being back at home for your games?
Excited for the atmosphere. Just got to hurry up and get out. We got to go have fun and get in this win column.
Military Appreciation Day this weekend, brought to you by Broadview Federal Credit Union. We thank them for that. You've been chomping right from the time leaving Atlanta to get into this game, right? I know this has been a tough week for you, probably not a ton of sleep to bounce back. Losing is part of football. You're not always going to go undefeated, although you've been close to that a couple of times. What is the most important part of transitioning off a loss and using it to improve?
Truly watching the tape, analyzing everything. I think first and foremost, starting with yourself, seeing where you let the coordinators down and the players. And then once you're able to analyze that, then you can go and watch the film for, okay, who wasn't where? Was that a player issue? Is that a scheme issue? So being able to find those things out and then moving on from that Monday, getting that practice going and being able to practice and get ready to just move on day by day, just trying to live each quarter, one quarter each day.
Do you have a sense of how much fell into each category? Talent, preparation, being ready for the moment, performance, and I guess from that, what gives you confidence that you can correct it?
It's just the way we practice. You know, I think we practice extremely hard, but sometimes you take for granted that others aren't. Right, you take for granted. And I think even with some of the players, right, we got a young team. Damn, we got to do all of this. Not we get to do all of this. So it's that little sense of entitlement that we still have to get rid of when you're on a young football team and you got so many good players coming in. Want to be able to fix that and get that done pretty quick, right? And just working on our leadership council of being able to push that through the team,
sure.
Right? Some guys are in their leadership roles for the first time. Coaches got to be a little bit more on point, pushing and understanding, starting with myself.
You talk about your team structure and leadership. It's now exposed at game speed on a big stage last weekend. Now you come home and it's a big deal here to perform well at home in a non-conference game. Is that why you kind of see that you'll be a little more representative this week of who you are?
I think so. I think you're right about that. I also think there's a certain way that you want it to look. Mm-hmm. Like for me, we didn't play complimentary football. It didn't look the way it was supposed to look, right? And that's important. Win, lose, or draw, you're supposed to go out swinging, right? You can't wait after getting punched in the mouth 3 times to decide, okay, you want to fight. Yeah, that's why we're here, because we wanted to fight, right? So like that's a lack of having guys prepared by me, right? So I always look at that as me, and then we'll just got to be able to respond. Got to go out swinging from the beginning.
So look forward to seeing that. Of course, at home, the home fans, the adrenaline in the dome and that type of thing figures to get you going there. In terms of on-the-field performance, I know tackling had to be a big emphasis again this week in practice. Is there something that you see that makes you feel like you're better in that area? And in particular, you want to shore up the run defense, and that is the strength of Connecticut's offense.
I just think everyone has to run to the ball. Mm-hmm. And don't fake it. Run to the ball because you want to get to the ball. Because he might miss the tackle.
Something's going to happen there.
Because we won't make it all the time, right? So run your butt to the ball because you may have to make that tackle. And then the more guys are around the ball, the better things happen, right? Whether there's fumbles, there's gang tackling, things of that nature. But guys got to run to the ball because that's what you love to do, right? That's what you say the culture is. So run to the ball. Let's make sure we get that done. And that I think running to the ball will cure up all the missed tackles. Because the more people at the ball, you don't even know it was a missed tackle. Because once he makes one move, he's getting hit by the next guy or the next guy.
Well, that's where turnovers can happen, too. The takeaways, if you get one guy on the tackle, now you've got a second guy maybe stripping and somebody there to recover a fumble if there is one.
Absolutely.
Let's finish, Coach, with a thought on Connecticut. You mentioned that you keep in contact with Coach Mora, a game that wound up relatively close here in the Dome last year. This is a team that's really places an emphasis on running the rock and has some success with it.
Yeah, I think he does a good job. They should be able to run the ball because he's a defensive coach and he does a real good job with his players. He's maximizing his players. His players maximize their talent. They play hard. They all fly to the ball. They do a good job on that D-line. I like those guys, how they move around. That linebacker, Taekwon King, is a good player. I like the corners. I like Pringle and Chadwick. So, I mean, they got some good players. And offensively, Joe at quarterback does a good job. And number 3 comes in. He does well. 0-7 at running back are good. I like Victor also, 22.
Rosa?
Yeah, I think Rosa does a good job. And then they got a couple tight ends that can play. Skylar Bell's a good football player. He had a good day here last year. So,
10 catches.
Yeah, so we'll see him and that guy. They're going to play against each other again. We'll see what Kerr and him do this week because we're going to match Kerr back up on him again. And then the rest of those guys can play, Porter, and they got a bunch of good receivers. They got some good players on that team. They got a good football team. They got a great coach, the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, special teams. They do a good job. He's done a good job. So I'm proud of Coach, to be honest.
Won 9 games, including a bowl against North Carolina last year and a big win against Central Connecticut State in week 1. All right, Coach, home in the Dome, Military Appreciation Day. I know you want to show out for that crowd. Best of luck, okay?
Appreciate that.
That's Orange head coach Fran Brown in our weekly sit-down, brought to you by Chick-fil-A.